It's very far above my expectation.
Show the customers what we can do with our product.
I'm Ashok Sarkar, head of Milling Technology at the Canadian International Grains Institute. New crop means harvest quality assessment of the crop that is just being harvested. We collect all the samples, composite them, analyze them, and evaluate its quality. This involves composite grain samples being sent over to us by grain companies where they make their own composites, and then we make a bigger composite by blending them so that we have a pretty representative quality from Western Canada. Once the composite are prepared, we test the wheat quality, various parameters. We produce sufficient quantity of flour for testing not just in our analytical lab, but also for end-use product testing, such as baking, noodle making, testing for steam bread, and in case of durum wheat, testing for pasta. We're milling about 25 kilos through a lab mill. I'll leave it to Norbert Cabral to describe the process in greater detail.
Hi, I'm Norbert Cabral. I'm a milling technician. We are now in Cigi pilot mill, where we are milling all the samples. There is a label that shows all the information about the particular sample that we received, the company that sent the samples to us, the region where it came from, the type of wheat or the class, and the grade. The first step is to clean the wheat using this decades tester. Large samples or small samples, we clean all of it, and then after that we weigh 2.5 kilos for lab milling. After cleaning the wheat samples, we get the initial moisture using this moisture meter, and from there we can compute for the quantity of water that needs to be added to the wheat. That is what you call the tempering process. We usually temper or condition the wheat for not less than 20 hours. The purpose of conditioning is to mellow the endosperm and to toughen the bran or make it more pliable to have a good separation during milling. We have 3 lab mills here in Cigi. The first one is used to mill common wheat. This is where we get all the flour for testing. The second one is used to mill durum wheat. This is where we get all the semolina for testing in our pasta plant. And the third one is also used to mill common wheat. On a very busy day when we have lots of samples, these 2 lab mills, the number 1 and number 3, are running continuously for about 12 hours a day. So we're ready to mill. This is our common wheat sample. So we put the wheat here. As we mill, the bran will come out to this bucket, and the shorts, which is a combination of bran and endosperm, which could not be separated, is coming out of this bucket. So as we start the mill, we have to engage the rolls. From here, you will see the brake rolls, and this is the first brake, the second brake, and the third brake. Like, you will see that there are corrugations in it. Here is the reduction rolls, which you can see are smooth. So first, in the brake system, we have 3 separations. The first separation is the brake stacks. So the first brake goes to the second brake, and then to the third brake, and then to the bran. The last separation is the flour, which are collected on these trays, the endosperm or the middlings, which are collected and goes to the reduction system. In the reduction system, we have 2 separations, the middlings and the flour. We call this B1, B2, B3 flour, and then 1M, 2M, 3M flour. Having this flour collected on separate trays allows us to test it separately. We can still recover some flour from the bran and the shorts that we have collected from that lab mill by using this bran finisher. Sometimes we call it bran duster. We put the bran in here. There's a beater that is rotating inside the screen. Then the flour goes out of the screen and collected here. So those flour that are recovered from bran and shorts is added to the final product that we have produced using the lab mill, and that adds to an additional maybe 1 to 2% extraction. After milling, we collect all the the samples from the different channels. We weigh it and record it. After getting the percent extraction of the flour that we have produced from the lab mill, samples are distributed to different areas for testing. We send samples to the lab for analysis. We send samples to pilot bakery and test bakery for baking tests, to the noodle plant and pasta plant for tests on several product applications.